Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode. So today I don't really have a theme or a topic. I just kind of want to randomly chat about what I've been through and how I've been feeling about myself or work or something like that. Wow, yeah, okay. So anyway, I don't have a theme. So if you're looking for something to listen to or you're using this as your listening material, I think it may be a wrong video to do that. So think carefully about it. Anyway, so if you follow me on Bilibili, you know I posted a topic about confirmation bias. And the interesting thing is, when I was talking about unconscious bias, I actually mentioned, I did not, but I saw the article about 5 biases you probably normally would encounter at work about unconscious biases. And one of them is confirmation bias, but I didn't really understood at that time. I didn't understand that at that time. Then I was doing my therapy session and then they gave me an article to read, and there's a part about what you are thinking about yourself is not yourself, something like that. And then they mentioned this confirmation bias. I was like, that is really, really interesting. So I kind of wrote it down I wrote that note down and I'm making my own notes. And I thought, I'll just talk about that and something else. Yeah. So I may not look very presentable today just because I took this guy for a very snowy walk. And when we came back, he was a happy dog. I was not a happy human. It was so cold. I was wearing my winter jacket and then my winter boots. Everything was so heavy when you were walking on the snow. I almost felt like I was doing workout with weights. So anyway, so pardon me for my look. If you do care about how I look, then you know what? I do have a podcast and audio. So if you like a podcast or audio without looking at this face, but definitely go ahead, head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcast. Find Base Coffee Corner. I will be there. Or if you're in China, so you can go to Himalaya and find my podcast there too. It's going to be the same name, not a Base Coffee Corner. It's the same name. Anyway, you got me. So if you don't know, ask someone who knows. That's what I always do. Okay. Anyway, so let me read the piece I saw on my therapy session article, and I thought that was very interesting. And it's actually when I saw that, I was like, oh, totally me. I'm really trying so hard now to understand myself, understand my own behaviors so I can improve. And then the interesting thing is the more you know yourself, the better social relationship you would have with other people. And I am trying to be like that kind of person. You know, we're social animals. We're gonna have some sort of sound relationship with other people, and that will make your life so much easier. So make yourself happy. Okay, so here's that thing. It says all the information we process in our brains is filtered through our beliefs, assumptions, and expectations. We all have what's called confirmation bias. We have trouble accepting things that are inconsistent with our beliefs or that violate the assumptions and expectations we have about who we are, how other people are, or how things work. We're also limited in our understanding of the world to what we can see and experience for ourselves. So our understanding is limited by what we think we know, what we assume, and what we don't know at all. So here, I really thought that was me. I used to be like that, especially when people are weird, right? When you are confident, true confidence, when you have the true confidence, you don't care about what other people say, but you do listen to good advice. But when you have that kind of between true or some sort of confidence, and then you will have the moment that might turn you to being a person with the ego. Right? I talk about the ego is the enemy. So it will be like you look like you're confident, but you refuse to listen to different opinions about yourself or about things you do. That happened to me a lot. I'm still trying to learn how to cope with that, but so far I think I'm doing better job than before comparing to myself. So what happened is, I probably mentioned this many times when it comes to English teaching or some other things. I do think I'm pretty experienced now after I've teaching so many students in different fields. But then when people gave me suggestions, they may sound a little bit too aggressive, and then that's when I feel offended, right? And then I started being like, oh, I don't like this person, and everything she does or everything he does is, yeah, why does it do that? Why does she do that? Then I will give a negative feedback or even give a negative interaction to them. That's because what they gave to me is not what I was looking for or is not what I was expecting for. So I think she or he is not part of my team, and we're definitely different people. So I'm not gonna, get along with them. But then that causes another problem is I will stop learning, I will stop improving, and then I'll never be a better version of myself. And then nobody's gonna give you advice anymore. And that will be very scary because how are you going to know when or what you need to improve? Other people will tell you. So here's the thing. If some of you, I don't know, if you have your own channels or something you're doing that you do get public comments from the other people, and you may see some comments are there. Some comments are actually good, but the way they interpret it might be a little bit nasty, and then you will be like, this person is really brutal. I don't like this person because he or she's giving nasty comments. But if you really read it or think about it carefully, you will see that those people are actually giving you constructive opinions or feedback. But it's just, it doesn't fit in your beliefs or in your concept, and then you would be like, this one is an alien to me. I don't like them. For example, if you have famous people online or somewhere else where then you will see some of the comments are not exactly just saying that you're wonderful, you're perfect, you're the best. Some of the comments may be like, maybe you should change your not like change your so for example, I've got comment about my audio input. I think a couple of them mentioned that sometimes my audio is not very balanced. And well, when I first saw that, I was a little bit furious. I admit that. I was a little bit furious because I was like, well, I'm using this and then I'm using my software to edit the volume and I'm trying to balance out everything. From my end, it's really good. How dare you say that? But then realize that maybe, it's just me thinking about from my side, yes, it works. But you're the one who's also listening to this and you think it doesn't really work for you. And of course, you can have an opinion. However, back then, when you had that kind of opinion, I feel like you are against me, right? So like what he said here is like, it's not inconsistent with what I believe. What I believe is my audio is awesome. What you believe is not really. And then there is a kind of fight in between. And then that's when I feel like I refuse to listen to you. But I definitely think I'm doing a better job now because every time when I see comments like that, I will try my best to think, is this just a solid opinion or suggestion or someone just kind of being unreasonable? But the difficult part is when you see something that is different from what you think, your first reaction is always going to be to refuse because that's our human natural reaction to hurt feelings, right? So we always avoid risks or hurt and other things that would damage our feelings or physical body, things like that. Well, it's natural, nothing bad, right? People are allowed to have different feelings. You can't just always have a positive feeling. And that is something I also want to talk about. Like, I used to pursue the stabilization of my emotion and feelings. I feel like if I have fluctuating feelings, then I definitely feel very frustrated and I get mad at myself because, well, no, you're supposed to feel happy. Why are you doing this? But now I understand people have ups and downs, right? So sometimes you just feel really, really blue. That is okay. That is life. While for the whole week I've been having bad luck about everything. I made mistakes. I got emails from the work reminding me doing something that I forgot to do. And my colleagues were trying to ask me for help. And when I was in the kind of like a process of doing something else, things happen, right? Then you get impatient, you get frustrated, and you get upset. So what? That is also part of yourself. As long as you accept those kind of feelings, that's a part of you, and you are good. You don't think you are refusing the negativity of yourself, right? So it's always the best way to do. The best way to do is always to be friendly with yourself. Remember, your friend can be sometimes asshole, sometimes angel. You never know, but they're your friends. You're your friend too. So that's what I was thinking here. And in my article, not in my article, in my assignment about this article is there. They mentioned two simple assumptions, and then I think it's very, very me. So I'm going to read it for you too. So number one is how we see things is always distorted by our limited perceptual abilities and by our beliefs, assumptions, and expectations. And number two is this distortion increases when we experience strong emotions such as anger, anxiety, sadness, or grief. So here we go. I know. I don't know if you had this moment. But I definitely had this, and then a few people actually mentioned that. So my parents always said that. I still remember what my dad said about me when we were having a dinner with their friends, because their friends said, "Well, look at your daughter, such a gentle soul. She's so kind, she's so quiet, and such a good daughter," something like that. So my dad said one thing, "Well, not when she's angry, because when she's angry, she does say something that is very hurt." I'm like, okay. So back then, I still remember those words my dad said about me, but I never really think about that until I read this comment or this article. I was like, that's what I always said. When I was angry, I would say something. I mean, it is true. It is my true emotion. It is my true words about it. But I probably could have used a different way to say it to make it more like gentle, a little bit softer, a little bit more acceptable by other people. But instead of doing that, I would always add one kind of word to make it worse. So I would say, "You never do this to me. You always hurt me in this way. You always treated me like this." So something like never, always, right? So those words are not factual. You know what I mean? It's more like opinionated. It is your opinion about what they do to you. And then you add that word there, then it's not very objective anymore. So that will bring up a fight. And then that's when I become an angry crier. I found those few episodes are actually really connected with each other. Anyway, so I was thinking about when I was fighting with my parents, I always said that, "Remember when I was little, you always did this, you always did that. That was really, really painful." And I even said that, "You never know how much damage you caused when you said that to me," and things like that. Well, they definitely felt hurt too. But afterwards, did I regret about it? Uh, I did. I did regret a lot. Not about what the thing I said, it's about the words I used. I probably could have used different words to say that whatever they did when I was little really damaged myself, right? Really damaged me. But instead of using some good words to interpret it in a different way, I decided to use the strongest words to hurt everybody. That's why people always say that when you're angry, try not to say anything, because at that moment, even if it is true, and you're going to say something that will really hurt the other person, and sometimes the damage to your relationship can be permanent. How are you going to make up for that? Right? If you hurt somebody, you hurt somebody. There's no way that you can't just rewind and go back in and say, yeah, it's never, I didn't mean that. Well, if you said that, you meant that, you hurt me. So now I'm trying to just think about myself every time when I say something, or if I have that angry moment or the sad moment, I will be really careful about my wording. I will really be careful about how I say it. If I can't manage my anger or my sadness, then at that moment I would say that I can't talk right now. Just give me a few minutes, let me calm down, and then we'll talk about the thing. So I think that is a really good strategy to use when you deal with your friendship, relationship, or any kinds of relationship with your with friends, parents, coworkers, even your boyfriends or girlfriends or husband and wives, right? So I think about that. Maybe give a sign. You say, well, let's do red flag. And if I say red flag, means right now I'm mad at you. I don't want to talk to you. And give me a few moments, and then I'll come back and then we'll talk about this. I think it's a really good way to do it. So that is confirmation bias. And okay, that the next thing I want to say is not about confirmation bias, but kind of I'm very proud of myself. Remember, my purpose of doing this video is first to practice my English, second to get more input, and the third to improve myself about a lot of things. So it's like a diary about my self-reflection. So that's what I do. This week, well, for you guys, if you see this video, it's going to be like last week, I said no twice. In the very beginning, I was really uncomfortable saying no to people, and I'm always a yes person to other people. And I've been like that for a while. And the problem with saying yes all the time is you're going to be constantly stressed about getting things done and making other people happy. People pleaser, right? So I was so proud of myself. I said no to 2 different people in a row this week, and I was really good. First one is that was we kind of worked together a while ago. We were never really friends. We barely got in touch after I quit that job, but that was been like that had been years, 2 years, 3 years. This whole pandemic really throws me off about time. Okay, so I think it's 3 years. Anyway, so she sent me a message on Instagram, which I really don't like. I think Instagram is my personal account. I don't want to talk about anything work related on my personal account because I'm supposed to enjoy things there, right? So I look at pictures, I post pictures. I don't want people to talk about work on Instagram. Then I started hating Instagram. Anyway, so she sent me this message at 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. After whole day working, I was really exhausted. I really didn't want to respond. So she was asking if the board where I work was hiring. The thing is, I already got this job, so I didn't really pay attention to those kind of things. So, and I'm that kind of person that if it's not related to me, and then I don't really care too much. So anyway, and then she asked me, so the other day I went to ask my colleague. I actually didn't say yes in the beginning. So, and say no in the beginning. I said nothing because I didn't want to chat with her at night. So I went to work. I asked my colleagues about that. They didn't know about hiring too. And then, so I came back and I sent her a message. I say, well, sorry, I don't know if they're hiring, and asked if you might a few of my colleagues, they are not aware of that too. And then she said, they are definitely hiring. And then she sent me an Indeed link about the job position posting. My first reaction was really angry, and my heart was pounding so hard to the point I could not even hear myself. And I was like, okay, back to my confirmation bias. I was like, I'm gonna calm down. I'm not gonna say anything. I need that quiet, rational moment so I can really reason with her. Right? So I'm getting myself ready for that. And then I said, well, I did ask a few of my colleagues and they didn't know, and I'm sorry for that. But yes, if they're hiring, go ahead and apply for it. What else you wanted me to say? Right away. And then she said, I would like to know the following questions. And then she sent me like at least 5 questions about the job I'm doing right now. I did feel a little bit upset about it because she had nowhere to say, hi, how are you doing? Or thank you for helping me, or even say thank you anyway, that you even ask your colleagues about it. Nothing. And she just kind of like, well, I'm not your servant. I'm not doing this for you. And I am actually using my own time to help you out. But if that's your attitude, well, fine. So I said, some people like it, some people hate it. So far, so good for me. That's it. You're welcome. So I ended with my message with you're welcome to remind her that, hey, don't forget to say thank you. And then, well, at least she says thank you at the end. Good for me. And that's the first thing. Second thing is my roommate was asking me to check her writing. And I said to her, and then she sent me a message, of course, at night as well. And then she said, oh, not today. And then she was trying to be considered thoughtful because she thought I was really working hard and she didn't want to interrupt me, which I really appreciated when she said that. But then I also said, look, I really, really wanted to help you, but so far I really can't before December 8th. I have no time for that. But if you can wait, I can do that after December 8th because I'm on a project with the university. We've been really busy about it, on it. So, and then she said, oh, okay, so I'll find someone else. If no one's helping me, I'll come back in. I was like, sure. Well, I gave myself this, like I'm thinking about myself first. Are you able to do it without interrupting your own routine? Or are you able to do it without sacrificing yourself? Right? So I think it is very, very important to think about yourself first and then then go and help other people. Because if you have to sacrifice yourself to help other people, then you have this expectations on other people saying that, well, if I do this, you should definitely show your appreciation. If people don't do that, then you get upset about it because you didn't get acknowledged by them. And then they don't know how much you've sacrificed to make it happen. And then you feel like all your sacrifice went nothing. So that's why I am thinking, hey, next time it doesn't matter if you're saying or someone else is saying bad things or giving you opinions, giving you feedback or suggestions, either in a good way or a bad way, or someone is asking you for something, you always think about yourself first. First is back to confirmation bias. When you think about yourself first, think about is you don't like this person because he doesn't say something that you like, or what he says is not true. So that is a huge difference to tell. If it's just because what he says is not what you want to hear, doesn't make this person a bad person. And some people say nice things to you doesn't mean he is really your true friend. That's a tricky too. I may offend some of you guys, but people do say nice things and they're very, very nice, but you have to be careful. You can't always get yourself used to nice things. They're going to be something that is not what you want to hear, and that is not inconsistent with what you believe or what you expect. And that's when you might get angry and resentful. So think about that. I'm telling myself too. Okay. And another thing is think about yourself. Are you able to do things? Are you able to help other people without sacrificing yourself? I always think our parents sacrifice a lot for us. And that's why when we grow up, they are always like, how much have we've sacrificed for you, and you should do this, 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 and you should listen to us, and you should definitely be a good kid. But then you feel like, well, isn't raising a kid that isn't raising a kid what you want, right? You chose to have us, and you chose to raise us, but then now you're saying that you do everything for us. I didn't say I wanted it to be born, right? So that kind of thing really made me think about myself. If one day I am doing this with my kid, or I'm, even though not your kid, dealing these things with other people, your friends, your parents and everything, it's because you want to and you're able to. Not because you have to and you're going to sacrifice yourself and people will be happy that, hey, you're a good person. You're not looking for that. You're not looking for a thing to make you a good person. You are a good person. It's just sometimes you can't cover everything and you can't do everything. So my suggestion for myself, if this is helpful for you too, is to think about yourself, good part, bad part. Think about yourself, be a little bit selfish, and then say no to other people when you can't really help them. But don't say no just because they don't say anything. They don't say something that you like, and you be like asshole saying that, no, I don't want to help you. So anyway, one more time, if you do like podcast or audio, definitely go ahead to Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast to find Base Coffee Corner. I'll be there. And if you are in China and you can't use Spotify or Google Podcast, definitely go to Himalaya and find me there as well. So my microphone, if you wonder, my microphone is Blue Yeti. It is relatively pricey, but I don't think if it's necessary. It's really up to you. I'm a very audio snob, so I like when audio sounds really, really good. And this is my price when I got the job. And also, I'm using a software. It's called Logic Pro. It's from Apple. Yes. And I'm editing video using Final Cut Pro. So those are the main softwares I use to do my video. And plus, I don't really edit that much, so it's not very technically difficult, if you wonder. But that's it. That's everything for today's video. And this guy is snoring. I can slowly move it. Okay, so we'll just end this video with the snore, and I hope you have a lovely week, and I'll keep posting videos as much as I can, and hope you all have a warm, nice, and happy week, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. So that's it. Peace out, and stay tuned, and take care. Bye.